China's goal of eradicating extreme poverty was an ambitious and monumental undertaking. Jeff Moon is president of China Moon Strategies, a consulting firm here in Washington, and he explains the significance of reaching this goal for China and the rest of the world.
Well, poverty has been one of China's greatest historical problems. And China has made enormous progress since reforming and opening up. Between 1980 and 2010, for example, 700 million people were brought out of poverty. That last 100 million, though, was those in extreme poverty. And so Xi Jinping, I think, probably as a result of his having spent time in rural areas during the Cultural Revolution, recognized how hard and how important the problem was. And so it's extremely important, and Chinese people should be proud that they have tackled this problem in the last few years.
And we know that China took many years to reach that goal, working at the root causes of poverty, and it closed that out amid the pandemic. So we do know that the pandemic hit economies around the world very hard. Millions of people are still hurting financially, and the poor have even less. So is there anything you think that can be learned or shared to help some of these other areas around the world?
Well, the biggest factor is, frankly, economic recovery. The World Bank is saying that for the first time in 20 years, extreme poverty is going to increase over this past year. And China has been able to contain the virus and revive the economy. And the people that would have been most affected in the extreme poor areas would have been people who would have not been able to get commerce because transportation had been cut, or migrant people who would not have been able to travel or work in factories. And those are all vital inputs into those local economies. So I think the economic revival, frankly, and then policies that will foster skills and jobs and economic recovery are the key to resolving this poverty problem.
And as we see more and more Chinese stepping out of poverty, what is the impact to the consumption market? And then on a larger scale, what does a more prosperous Chinese economy mean for the global economy?
Well, China right now has a dual circulation theory that emphasizes domestic consumption, so that to the extent that people rise out of extreme poverty and become a part of the consumer economy, they are contributing to the economic plan and well-being of China. China, being the second largest economy in the world, of course, is also a growth engine for the world economy. So all of these things snowball upon each other and contribute to economic growth both in China and internationally.
And despite reaching this goal just a few months ago, what challenges remain and what are some important things to consider moving ahead?
There are a number of things to think about. First of all is sustainability. In order to sustain the progress that's been made, people have to have jobs and skills. And then there are some populations like the disabled or people that have chronic illnesses or that have to care for family members that also are hard to address but need to be addressed in the future. In addition, this program has not addressed urban poverty. It has addressed mostly rural poverty, and the income level is too low to address the problem in urban areas. So I think China might want to look at urban areas. China might also want to raise its sights a bit, expand its ambitions, and look from extreme poverty to moderate poverty, which the World Bank defines as $3.10 a day of income. And then finally, there are areas where China can make more progress in the area of reform. Here I'm thinking about the minimum income program that China has. It's called Dibao in Chinese, and the household registration problem, the hukou system that China has. If China were to reform those programs, that would also probably increase economic opportunity for the poorest people in China.
Always great to hear your take. Jeff Moon, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.